One more time, because I'm going to get going here. We are a minute after, so we're going to get going. One more time, as you're coming in right now, comment below. Let us know where you're coming in from. It's always cool to see who's here. Hit that like button. That's really helpful, for the algorithm. And then, this is going to be useful information for people. So let's not just share it with ourselves or keep it for ourselves. Let's hit that share button and share it out to your people. Let's get as many people watching this and benefiting from this as humanly possible, because I'm a big believer when you got something that's good, when you've got something that's worthwhile or helpful, you don't just want to keep it for yourself. Okay. And then last time for right now too, go to jaredjamestoday.com/download. And that is where, and I'll be saying that throughout, guys. I'll say it at the end. We'll send out an email that has the link there where you can download the 2022 business plan, the social audit, and the 2022 digital plan as well. Okay. Right off the bat, we're going to start with a contest. We have an announcement before we get into this. So a lot of you just attended the 2021 Jared James Advance, and I am happy to say that the 2022 Jared James Advance has now been announced. I'm going to show this to you guys. So give me 1 second here, and we're going to give away a ticket to the advance. Okay. Tom, hopefully this is showing my screen here. At some point, I think you guys are on a delay. Make sure it doesn't just show black screen, but it actually shows the screen. Let me know when that pops up. But we just announced we are going back to New Orleans. Not New Orleans. We're going back to Nashville. They both start with an N. We're going back to Nashville. Mark your calendar now. It's going to be October 24th and 25th. Can't wait for that. We're going to be in the same location we were at last time, right on Broadway, right in Nashville. Mark your calendars now. For a limited time, guys, we are giving, we're selling the tickets at an extremely low price of only $149. That's going to be an extremely limited amount of time. The longer you wait, they go up, they go up, they go up. But as you guys know, who come year after year after year, we always offer them at a very low price right in the beginning. That's the advantage of getting on it quickly. And then, we'll start raising them up and up. Okay. So if you go to jaredjamestoday.com/advance, you will see that. But let's do a little bit of a social contest real quick to give away one of those tickets. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to give away one of those tickets. And if you want to win one of those tickets, here's what you have to do. You've got to go to my Instagram right now. And on my Instagram, I'm at Jared James Today. I'm Jared James Today for basically everything. Okay, at Jared James Today. If you look at this, you're probably not going to be able to see this, but I'll just hold it up and I'm going to screen share and show it as well. But I just put a post up literally as we were getting started here. There's a post of me getting ready. It says about to go live at 11 a.m. Eastern. Okay, this is on Instagram. If you want to be entered in the contest to win a free ticket to the 2022 Jared James Advance on October 24th and 25th in Nashville, Tennessee, all you've got to do, you got to go like that photo and put some kind of comment on it. So comment with your front comment that you're here. I want to know who's here, who's on. And later today, we're going to pick a winner and we're going to give away a free ticket. So go to on Instagram at Jared James Today. That first photo there with me in the black, obviously what I'm wearing right now. Go check that out and like it. Leave a comment. You can just let me know you're here. Or you can say I'm excited or whatever it is you want to do. That's fine by me. And go do that. And at the end of the day, we're going to pick a winner. If you go and buy tickets to the advance and then you win, obviously we will refund you back on that so that you get the advantages that you want. Okay, you're going to get that free ticket because you deserve it. Okay, so with that being said, guys, I want to get into this. I've got a certain amount of time because I do need to hit the airport. But I think this is one of the more important trainings that we do every single year. And it is something we do every year. And there's parts of it that are kind of monotonous when you go over your numbers and you're figuring out where you need to be and where you're at for this year and what you need to do next year. That stuff is kind of monotonous from the perspective of how many appointments do I need? How many, all of that stuff. But then there's changes. There's changes in the marketplace. There's changes in your consumer. There's changes in all these things. There's changes in the industry. And we're going to talk about a lot of those things. But the reason why I love doing this training is because this is a time of the year. I mean, it's like, my God, I can't believe we're going into 2022. That just, for me, it's like the further we get away from 2020, I'm kind of happy about it. So I can't believe we're going into 2022, but I'm kind of happy about it, right? But this is the time of the year where people get motivated, right? They do things they wouldn't normally do. They've got motivation, they've got vigor, they've got that they wouldn't normally have. They start to eat right. They start to plan better for their business. They start exercising. They do things they wouldn't normally do. And like I say every year, this is the time of the year where you really need to take advantage of that, right? New years are new beginnings. They actually are. And it's a chance for you to hit reset. Not that where you are is bad, not that, but there's always better. There's always more, right? And so we want to take advantage of this time of the year and really do that. And when we look at our industry, I've been saying this all over the world lately. I just talked about this at our advance. Our industry right now is filled with more disruptors than ever before. It's filled with more competition than ever before. And like I've been telling everyone lately, like our mentality on that has got to change. Competition always does one of two things. It either makes you better or it eliminates you. Those are the two things competition does. And so there's really two ways that we can look at all of the competition in the marketplace. And, I'm sure that a lot of you, if I said, hey, raise your hand if you've got some new competition, you would raise that hand, right? And so when we look at that, there's two ways we can look at it, because competition either eliminates you or makes you better. And you can either look at it and complain and say, oh my God, these people, I can't stand this company, I can't, whatever. Or if you know that one of the things that competition does is that it actually makes you better, that means that when there's more competition than ever, there's more of an opportunity than ever before to be better, okay? And so we really want to look at it like that. We really want to think of it like that. That's the mentality that we have to come from. And so when we look at what's going on right now in the market, there's an amazing opportunity. And I know that people like me are supposed to say that. I know that we're supposed to tell you what great opportunities there are. And, you can be better this year than last year. New year, new me. For any of you that know me personally, I hate that stuff. But there is some truth in the fact that our marketplace right now has more opportunity than ever before, but it's not for everyone. I talked about at our advance, I talked about how all of these headlines and everything are telling you every other day, the new disruption. Agents are going to be eliminated. You're not going to be there in the future. And yet when you really look at what really happened this year, commissions are at a record high. Commission revenue for the first time in history is going to cross $100 billion. I want you to think about that for a second. That's in the US. I know I've got people here from Canada and Brazil and all these other places, but it's a microcosm of what's going on right now. For the first time in history, we're going to pay out over $100 billion in commissions, and over 16% increase over last year, which is crazy. It's not what you're hearing in the headlines. But here's the even crazier part. Out of those 100 billion, about 50% of agents in the marketplace are going to have about 91% of that $100 billion, okay? And the other 50% that are the lower 50 are going to capture about 9% of that revenue, okay? Our industry right now is the ultimate haves and have-nots, right? You can't legislate success in our industry. We're a meritocracy. The best win. What you do matters. And what you do matters now more than ever, because we're dealing with a different consumer. We're dealing with a consumer that was locked up in a house for 18 months, 12 months, whatever it is, got familiar with technology, got familiar with using apps on their phones, got familiar with these kinds of things. And then we came back at it. And that means that when they came out of that, we're dealing with a completely different consumer, okay? So the opportunity is amazing. And when I say 50% of the agents made 91% of the revenue and 50% made 9%, remember, stats only tell you what was, they don't tell you what is. Stats get collected over the last year and they tell you what happened the last year, not what's happening right now. And I think that gap, that divide is only going to continue to widen as skills are more necessary in our industry, and skills are necessary in our industry. Okay. And we're in a crazy time. I mean, look, while there was the highest commission ever paid, market's rough. Like for any of you that have been in the industry a long time, market's rough right now. Even when you're making money, it's tough. Every deal, dealing with buyers, making offers. Everybody talks about dealing with buyers and getting rejected over and over. But look, guys, I talk to listing agents who are getting 35, 40 offers on a listing. It's tough. It's a lot to manage. It's a lot. We need to acknowledge that. We need to acknowledge that's what's going on, while also acknowledging the opportunity that is in front of us. And when you start to talk about opportunities and whatever, I think that we're ultimately a market right now where more than ever, what you do matters. I was in front of an audience of a couple thousand people recently. And I said to that audience, I said, hey, how many of you would like to get more listings? And everybody, they get all excited and whatever. And then I go, how many of you right now, if I put you on the spot, if I looked at you and asked you to get on the stage with me, have a specific strategy you're following every day to actually get those listings that you want? And the room got quiet and 2 hands went up. Guys, 2. And one of them was probably lying, okay? Like, there's a huge disconnect between what we want and our daily activities every single day, right? We're all busy. We're all busy. Everybody says how busy they are. Everybody's busy. If you're poor in this business or you make money in this business, everybody's busy, right? You talked the other day, I was trying to get my son to do something with me, my older son, and he couldn't because he was too busy. He was so busy. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if you don't have another kid you're taking care of, you're not busy, right? If you don't have another human you're taking care of, you don't know what busy is, right? And yet he's busy because he's learned that we need to be busy. There's value in being busy. And I'm here to tell you that that's not necessarily the truth. And when we start to look at our industry right now, there's a lot of narratives that are going around that, I'll be honest, I don't completely agree with. We've got to change our perspective. Here, how about this? I want to do something really, really quick and fun right now. If you think right now in your area there's low inventory, do me a favor, hit that like button or hit the heart or wherever you're watching this on. Hit like, hit heart, whatever. That'll be the way we vote right now. If you think there's low inventory in your market or low inventory in the real estate industry overall, hit like, hit heart. Do whatever your thing is right now. I want to see, who actually believes this, okay? Now, why am I saying that? I think you're getting set up a little bit. And for those of you that were at the advance, you know where I'm going right now. I don't think there's crazy low inventory right now because I look at the data, right? You're going to have just about as many homes sell this year that you had last year. It's not an inventory issue. I was talking to a broker yesterday and he pulled up the stats in the MLS and he said, Jared, last year at this time, our MLS had sold 30,000 properties. He said, now to date this year, we've sold 36,000. We're ahead of where we were before. Okay. And why am I saying that? It's not an inventory problem. That's a demand problem, right? We've got to change our perspective here. It's not an inventory issue. It's a demand issue. You see what happened with COVID? Think of it like a dog race. This is how my head works, guys. So just bear with me here, but a dog race, right? They've got all of those dogs lined up at the gate, right? And they got one rabbit they're chasing. They're waiting to lift up that gate so they can all chase that rabbit. And when COVID hit, what happened is that we kept adding dogs, we kept adding buyers, but we didn't increase the number of rabbits they were going to chase. And then we lifted the gate and you had a multiple of those dogs, of those buyers chasing the same number of rabbits that were there in the beginning. And so it's not a low inventory issue, guys. It's a high demand issue, okay? So we've got to change our perspective on what this really means, okay? And when we start to look forward to 2022, and my God, is that like crazy to even say out loud, 2022, I'm getting old. When we start to look ahead to 2022, I say this every year, you are not going to get what you want in the coming year. We never get what we want. We get what we plan for and we're committed to. I want you to remember that, okay? Everyone wants to lose weight. If you don't get up and go to the gym every day, if you don't say no to a brownie occasionally, if you don't, turn down that, whatever it happens to be, if you don't have a plan and that you're consistently following, you can want it every day of the week. It's just not going to happen, right? And so we need to adjust our wants. What it is we want for the next year. We want financial freedom. We want better structure in our business. We want more free time with our families. We want more downtime for ourselves. We want more of a savings. We want more vacations, right? We want to be able to give more to other people. We want to be able, we want to do these things. Have you set a specific plan to do that? I can remember vividly back when I actually one-on-one coach people before we had coaches and all that kind of stuff. And I remember meeting with one of my personal students. And when I'm meeting with this student, she told me what her goal was for the next year. And she said, I'm going to do X%, whatever that was, right? She goes, I'm going to do this many hundreds of thousands because I did this many last year and I did this much the year before. And she's like, well, if I raise that percentage last year, then I can probably do it again. And I said, based on what? Based on what? She goes, what do you mean based on what? I said, how's that going to happen? She's like, I don't know, it just makes sense. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works, right? We need to have a plan for how that actually works. We need to know what that looks like. We need to know the numbers of what that looks like. And I get it, guys. That's the boring crap that, none of us want to look at. It's not sexy. It's not Instagram worthy. It's not going to end up on your stories. But if you ultimately want to get what you want in 2022, what we really need to commit to, and I know this isn't inspirational right now, but what we really need to commit to is the boring crap that actually builds that business, that actually builds that freedom that you want. We've got to commit to the boring crap that I know we live, in 2021 in a social world where dopamine is constantly released. We put up a photo and people like it. And we're like, oh, no generation has ever been told that the stuff they have on, the stuff they're doing is liked as much as this generation right now. Everything is like, oh, I love it. It's dopamine. It feels good. It's, whatever. And the problem with that is that eventually we get to a place where we crave that. And we don't feel like we're successful if we don't get that. If we don't get, those people liking it, we don't get that. And what I'm going to tell you is that what really separates people is they commit to the boring crap. The boring, the me sitting in my family room yesterday with my computer, just doing stuff nobody's ever going to see, but it's what ultimately matters. That is what's going to make the difference for 2022. And we're going to talk about what some of those things are. And we're going to start off right off the bat, just like we do every year. And we're going to talk about, the business plan. So I'm going to cover this quickly with you. But again, if somebody on my team will put this in the comments, if you go to jaredjamestoday.com/download, you don't need to go there now. You can go afterwards. It'll be available for free for you to download. I'm going to cover real quickly right now the business plan, the digital plan, the social component, the social audit, and then we're going to talk about what items, what things we really need to commit to, we really need to focus on in 2022. Okay, so right off the bat, guys, this is the business plan. And I'm going to do this really quickly. Okay, it's going to give you an idea of where you need to focus. Okay. I put a little quote here. This is something I put on Instagram the other day, but it's just true, right? Nobody succeeds in real estate by accident. You can stumble into selling your grandma's house or work with a builder or on one project, but to succeed year after year after year, you have to have a plan and the accountability to follow that plan. Tom, is that showing? Good. And how true is that, guys? You don't luck your way into success in this industry, right? And so as we start to look at this, you're going to go down this and you're going to start to look at, okay, what is the actual numbers that I did the previous year? You're going to do that boring crap. What were the numbers? What was the average price? How many of these did I work with? What was my closing ratio? You're going to do some real detail here and check this out. You guys can see here, by the way, we just released access after a couple of years to our next mastermind, right? That's that thing that's not for everybody. For those of you that are interested, it's April 4th and 5th in Vegas in a suite for 2 full days with me and Rick Fuller, just building your business. Next level stuff, right? Not for everyone, but if you want to check that out, that's at our site, jaredjamestoday.com/mastermind, and it will sell out quick. There's something there for coaching, your market overview, what are the trends in your area? These are all the things you want to do. Do your SWOT analysis, right? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. I'm going to let you guys take a look at this, okay? Look at the next one here. Looks like it's blank. There we go. What am I committed to? We want to actually look at what are my 4 best uses of time? Like, stop and think about it. The issue with so many of us is that there's always a lot of things you could do, right? There's always things that it's possible. You're a nice person if you do it. And when you get into that mentality, that's how you get overrun, always working for, helping, assisting other people, but never doing the things that are best for your time. Remember, we all use the hours in the day, but it's a matter of what kind of outcome do they lead to? What results do they lead to? What's the best use of time, right? And so you're going to stop and you're going to think about that. What's the number one reason I've lost transactions? Guys, that's a good one. If you look at that line there, what's the number one reason I've lost transactions? That's the time you really want to be honest, right? Like, is it because I haven't fully committed to my CRM and people are going out the back? Is it because I haven't grown my infrastructure? I've held off on getting a TC. I'm too busy, but I keep meaning to do it. I've held off on an admin. I've held off. Like what is the reason that's happening? Do you have mental barriers? Like, a lot of us have mental barriers, right? We get to a certain place and we're like, we almost feel like we're not worth it, or we've always just hit that level. So something turns off and we shrink back. We don't want to outgrow our sphere. We don't want to outgrow our inner circle. There's a lot of you that are struggling because of inner narratives that you're telling yourself. What's the number one reason, right? Then you're going to go over positive consequences, negative consequences. And at some point, you're going to take a look at this social audit. And the social audit just kind of gives you an idea of of what you need on each one of these platforms to see how you're doing. Kind of gives you a social health score. Okay. How am I doing on Facebook? How am I doing on Instagram? How am I doing on YouTube? How am I doing on these places? Okay. And this is going to allow you to do that. Okay. After we do that, let's jump over and actually look at our numbers. This is the stuff, guys, we do every single year. Get through this for the new people that are on. And then we'll talk about where we actually need to be focused in the coming year. Okay. So let me pull this up for you guys. Give me 1 second. Here we go. So this is, let me see if I can make this larger for you guys. If not, don't worry about it. You'll be able to see it just fine on the replay or when you just go download it. That's another way that you'll be able to see it just fine too. Okay, here we go. So this is, every year we do this. You got to know your numbers, right? And this is going to tell you how many people you need to be working with. So if your goal GCI in 2022 is, let's call it 300,000. Okay, I don't know what yours is. It might be 100. It might be 50. It might be 6 million. What's your goal? Put it in there. This is all specific to you. Okay. What was your average commission? Let's just call it 7,000. I don't know. So in order to hit that goal, we need 43 transactions, which really, when you think about it, that means that we need to do our job less than once a week. We need to close on a property less than once a week. So now we're going to look at what did we do in the previous year? So let's say in the previous year, we did 25 appointments, right? Let's say that we listed, we'll say 15 of them. And let's say we sold 15 of them because that's kind of the market that we're in right now. It means you have a 60% closing ratio. That's starting to tell us that, okay? This year, I know that I want to sell 30 listings. I want majority listings over buyers, okay? So it's telling me I need 50 listing appointments. This is going to start to let us know where we need to be focusing, where our strategies need to be focused, okay? Based on our numbers, not based on guess or what someone else is doing. Potential buyers I work with, we'll say 25. We'll say we worked with 15 of them. And we'll say we sold homes to, let's call it 13 of them. Okay, so we have a 52% closing ratio. How many do I want to work? How many do I want to? Well, if we had 43 transactions, we need to hit our goal. And we need 30 listings, then we have 13 left. So I'm going to say we want to sell properties to 13 buyers. Okay, now what this does is this starts to tell you how many appointments you need. Okay, before I get to that, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to see how many weeks I plan to work. We'll call it 50. And you'll notice something that gets done here is that it calculates for you the number of conversations you need to have per week, the number of conversations you need to have per month. Why does that matter? Because a study was done and it found that for every 41 real estate related conversations you have, you create a sale. Okay. Now, some of you, it's going to be much less. Some of you, it's going to be much more, right? But it's about 41. So it's telling us that if we want to create 43 transactions, we multiply that times 41, the total number of conversations it needs, we need a total of 1,757 conversations, okay? 1,757. Now, that seems daunting. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it down to the minute. I need 35 a week, right? So if you work 5 days a week, I need to create 7 conversations a week, right? You think that's doable? Hit like if you think that's doable. That's doable, right? I need 146 a month. It's giving me numbers that make sense, but here's the number that actually matters. Okay, I need 6 per month. I need 2 per week. And really, it's not even 2 per week. It's 1.5. I need 1.5 appointments per week. I need 6 per month. I want you to think about that for a second, because that right there is the only number that matters. Okay, all that other stuff we just did is important. Like it's obviously important. You need to know where your direction should be. You need to know what your closing ratio is on. You need to know these kinds of things. But at the end of the day, are any of you 4 months from now really going to be opening your business plan and going, whoa, oh, where did I go wrong here? Oh, yeah, I got that. Anybody doing that? I'd love to think you're doing that. None of you are doing that. Maybe, with the number of people on here, maybe one or two of you are doing that. Maybe, but probably not, right? And so what we want to do is we want to break it down to the minute. What actually matters? What matters is 6 appointments a week, a month. That's what matters. I know that if I hit 6 appointments a month, I'm going to hit my goal. And that matters because a lot of us don't even know where we are. Like when I travel around the country, the world, and I say, hey, where are you at this year? People always go, I'm at about, okay. And that means we don't know what that is, right? And when you don't know where you're at in your business, what you ultimately do is you just always work to try to catch up because you're not sure where you're at. And what that leads to is constant work, constant exhaustion, constant. But when you know that you need 1.5 appointments a week. That's all you need. Like, how many of you are blown away by that? You're like, that's just 1.5 a week. Like, everything I do, I just need to create 1.5 a week. Yeah. That means that now built into our schedule. I know that thing you guys don't like to do, you wanted freedom of schedule when you got into real estate, right? How's that working out? But the very thing that gives you freedom is that schedule. Because when you know what it takes for you to get to where you need to go, what happens is that you now start to schedule yourself in a way where you go, okay, I'm going to spend this many hours this day, and this day to create the number of appointments that I need. I'm going to prospect. I'm going to network. I'm going to follow up with my SOI. I'm going to follow up. I'm going to do open houses. I'm going to do these things that create appointments. And here's the beauty of it. Sometimes Wednesday at 11 a.m., you've created 2 appointments for that week, and you know that you're ahead of schedule. And you can do whatever the heck else you want that week. You don't have to have anxiety. You don't have to feel nervous. You don't have to whatever. But sometimes Wednesday at 11 a.m., you're at 1 appointment, and you know that you are not at the place you need yet to be on track for your goals. And that means you got to go into go gear, where it's like, okay, I've got to create an appointment. I've got to find an appointment. Like, I'm desperate to find an appointment. And how many of you know when you're desperate, you'll do things that you won't do when you're not, right? We all like to think that we're built within us is this top producer mentality and this overcoming mentality. But the truth is, in most human beings, is just enough. That's the truth. Lackadaisical, just enough, mediocre is what is built in most human beings. Now, I'm hoping the type of humans that are watching me right now that actually watch a training and try to plan for the new year, that's not your thing. That's not your shtick, so to say. But that's what most humans are. They are just enough. If I eat, okay, good, I'm good. If I pay my bills, all right, I'm good. I can go to the next week. Most people don't have that next level built into them. You've got to fire that up inside of you for that next level thinking, right? And so when you look at this and you say, hey, I'm missing 1 appointment, I need an appointment. There's that old adage, you find what you look for, right? Now, every person you're talking to, you're thinking appointment. Every business activity, you're thinking appointment. Every place you go to, every networking event, you're thinking appointment. Those leads you haven't followed up with, you're thinking appointment. I just need to stay on track. And so the very thing that you think is holding you back, or you think holds you down, which is that schedule, is actually what will give you freedom. Because it really, when you break it down, does not take that much to hit your goals. It's just about actually knowing what they are and going after them on purpose, and not just kind of existing every day. And what do I do? Knowing where you are and being intentional about going after that is really all that matters at the end of the day. And this right here actually allows you to do that when you know your numbers. So you can fill out the business plan, you fill out the social audit, you do all those things. The thing that I want you looking at week after week after week, appointments, right? Appointments are those lead measures that ultimately lead to the closings, which are lag measures, right? We want to focus on those lead measures, the things that actually create what it is that we say that we want. For those of you that have followed me for a while, you've heard me say over and over and over again, right? If you focus on results, you get frustration. If you focus on process, you get results, okay? So we want to focus on those lead measures, those things that actually lead to, right? Like eating well leads to you losing weight. Exercising leads to prospecting, appointments, those things lead to. Don't get so focused on the result that you go and you don't see the result in the short term, and now you get frustrated and you feel like you've disappointed yourself again. Focus on the activities that actually get you to where it is you need to go, that give you those lag measures, those results that you actually want. If you do that consistently, day after day, week after week, month after month, guess what happens? You've got some good weeks, you've got some bad weeks, but at the end of the day, because you know your numbers, you know your closing rates and everything else, at the end of the day, they even out and they get you the desired result that you actually want, okay? The second thing we're going to talk about, the first was get clear on your benchmarks that matter, know your numbers. The second thing I want to talk to you about today that I think is a huge focus for 2022. So you've heard a million times, but it's probably never more important. Focus on your database. Your database right now is all that matters. I put out something on Instagram the other day, and I said, if you're spending more time converting a lead that doesn't know you, like you, or trust you, than you are spending maintaining the relationships with people who already know you, like you, trust you, then your system right now is messed up. Okay. And you guys know what I'm talking about, right? You know that I'm all for converting leads. We need to convert leads. They're a longer process. They're higher up in the funnel, but they're a part of our business. They're how you build pipeline. But listen to what I said. I said, if you are spending more time trying to convert a lead who doesn't know you, like you, trust you, then you are spending in your business maintaining the relationships of the people who already know you, trust you, like you, then right now the stuff is, it's busted. Your system right now is busted. It's not working, right? And so where does that happen? That happens in the database. I said to someone recently, I said, where's the most come from? They said the database. And I said, yes and no, because it's not really the database. It's a small portion of the database. Isn't that true, right? It's a small portion of the database. It's not that overall. It's very specific people. It's those A clients, right? We need to know who they are. I've been talking like crazy lately, and I'm not going to do it fully here, but like on the road, my number one thing I've been talking about is lifetime value of the client. Lifetime value of a real estate client is $117,000. And then I've been asking people and going, hey, where do you think the majority of that 117,000 lies? On the left side of the closing, pre-close, or on the right side, post-close? And everybody's like, yeah, most of the value is on the right side, post-close. Where's the majority of your time, your energy, your money spent going to right now? If we want to capitalize on that lifetime value, we've really got to go deep on our database, okay? And here's why I say that too. And this is a principle for everyone. Very successful people, especially in the climate we are in right now, do you know what they're really good at? They are really good at making the world smaller, okay? That's what they do. They make the world smaller, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, the smaller you can make your world, meaning the people in it, the people around you, your customers, your clients, whatever that is, the smaller you can make your world, the bigger the impact and the growth that you will have. The bigger the impact and the growth you will have, they will become for yourself and your clients, the smaller you can make it. You know, when you look at a lot of you, for example, a lot of you know that if you DM me, if you direct message me on Instagram, if you send me a message, if you do whatever, a lot of you know I reply every single time, okay? Why do I do that? One of the reasons I do that is because, look, I'll put out a video, I'll put out a picture, and it goes to the masses, right? I'll send out an email, and it goes to the masses. That's a big world. That's big, right? But why do I reply to every single person? Why do I have conversation? Because those are my A people. If somebody's willing to reply, if somebody's willing to comment on something, if somebody's willing to message me back, those are my A people. I need to make my world smaller, and I need to pull those people in, and I need to stay closer to them. Those are the people who sign up for coaching. Those are the people who use Cleared and Closed for their transaction coordination. Those are the people who use Jarja for their CRM, for their marketing. Those are the people. Those are my A's. It behooves me, I'll use that word, to make the world small and create relationship with them. I can't forget about those people, no matter how big the company gets or how many followers there are. And the same thing applies to you. You know, for those of you that see me on the road, how many times have you heard me say lately, don't listen to what I'm saying, watch what I'm doing. How do you make your world small, right? How do you make it smaller? How do you engage with those people? How do you find those people in your database? We've been talking a lot lately about things like the client loyalty program, right? If you go into our Facebook group, Jared James Coaching, and you type in client loyalty, you'll see threads of people who are all in there, who are doing the client loyalty program, and they're making client loyalty cards and giving them out at the closing to people. And part of being my program, you're a rewards member, is you're going to get a lot of different benefits, free gift cards every year, free babysitting every year. You're going to get a free market value of your portfolio. You're going to get all of these things, but you make them feel a part of your group, because you're going to have all these different layers and levels. You're going to have leads. You're going to have people who just fall off, and you're going to have friends that, you know about you, but don't whatever. But you gotta find with the people who are your best supporters, the people who would support your business fully, the people who you would actually be able to realize the real value of that $117,000 every year. Like, for those people, you have to find a way to make the world small. And, you know, making the world small is not just those people. It's also in your own head, right? I said at an event I was at recently, like, one of the issues we have with people, because our world is so big and there's so much content, there's so much information, so we're listening to too many voices. you listen to one voice and they say debt's bad. You listen to another voice and they're like, debt's awesome. And they're all millionaires. They're all whatever. But we are confusing the crap out of ourselves because our world is too big. We're confusing ourselves because we're allowing all these conflicting views in. And so when it comes to, when I talk about making the world small, I'm not just talking about making it small with your clients. I'm not just talking about making them feel close, making them feel, with those people, with which video and all these other things do as well. I'm also talking about in your own world. In your own world, have you limited the amount of stuff you're putting into this little noggin right here so that you have complete clarity? So you know what you're doing. So you don't have conflicting voices that are confusing you, because when you're confused, you don't act. I know there's a lot of options, but who speaks to you? Who's in a season similar to yours? It all works. How do I create clarity? How do I make the world small for my clients? How do I make the world small for me so I can focus and I have clarity on what I need to do? I know there's a lot of good things to do, but these are the things that I focus on. I do these things really well. I execute on these things. I don't overthink in these areas. We have to make the world small if we're really going to win, okay? Number 3. So number 1, get clear on benchmarks, your numbers. Number 2, database, okay? Database, guys, do me a favor. If you're on here because you got an email from me, you're watching this, hit like or leave a comment. Let's see how that goes. Because I guarantee the majority of you came because you got the email. That's how powerful the database is. So let's build that database. Number 3, every year we talk about this, and every year some of you do it and some of you don't, but we need to focus on our finances, okay? Focus on our finances matter. Money matters. Get organized. Stop guessing. Stop guessing your taxes. Start, create those various accounts. Set up rules that when a check comes in to your business account through your LLC, that this percent goes here, this percent goes there, this percent goes there. There's simple things like we talk about over and over again with our student base. Have your QuickBooks attached to your bank accounts, to your credit cards. You can easily, I'll even show this to you guys. You know what? Let me pull this up here. You guys should be able to see this. You can easily, if I go on here and I go to Upwork, okay? Go to Upwork. You connect your accounts, you do that stuff. Now you go to Upwork. When you go to Upwork, type in bookkeeper, okay? Upwork.com, type in bookkeeper. Okay, you're probably gonna need someone 2 hours a week, if that. You give them access to your QuickBooks. Have your finances being managed on a regular basis. That's called running a business, right? And you can see these people. If I were to go US only, you can see people in the US. You can see what they charge: 40 an hour, 54, 48, all these different charges, 45, 30. I can go in here and say, you know what? I want this to be a little bit cheaper, right? So if I go down here and I say hourly rate, and I say, I want 10 to 30. They're going to show me all of those. And all of these people, 100% job success. They'll tell you if they're QuickBooks certified, like they're, whatever. You can look at them. I recommend even go outside of the US, right? You can get them very cheap, right? I go there and I go 10 and below outside the US. Look at this. $7 an hour, $7 an hour, $10 an hour, 98% job success, 100% job success. You look at these. A lot of us right now are not leveraging enough how many things we could actually freelance out to someone else, that we could have somebody else doing. It doesn't even need to be you, right? You pay someone $10 an hour, they do it 2 hours a week, but how much is it worth for your finances to be in order? How much is it worth to you for you to be able to go and on any given week or any given month, actually go and pull a profit loss, a P&L, go and pull a balance sheet? Go and look at what you look like this month. What are your expenses compared to your income? What's your ROI on the different things you're spending on? Pull up specific expenditures compared against, that is called running a business. I know that we didn't learn this in, real estate school. This is what the very successful people are doing, is they're going to that next level that I know you weren't taught it. It's not normal. It's not what your dad did in the business. It's not what your brokerage teaches. This is the next level stuff because it informs your decisions. And it also allows you to know, how much is going out, how much is going in. Can I buy that or not? Can I afford that vacation? You don't buy a vacation because you deserve it. You can't afford it if you haven't managed your finances enough. That's there. What's another example of managing your finances right now? I'm a big believer that a bad investment is better than a good spend. Okay, I'm going to say that again for some of you. A bad investment is better than a good spend. There are investments and then there are expenses, right? You are at a time right now, through the year right now, we're coming to the end of the year where you need to look for things to invest in. So it's a write-off, so that you're lowering the amount of money you're giving to the government. And instead you're investing it in yourself, right? So some of you need to get off the fence and go to the mastermind, because that's going to be a write-off for you, but it's going to return itself many-fold, XXX percentage. And it's a write-off. Some of you need to be in coaching. Some of you need to get that CRM. You need to get a marketer. You need to get a freelancer. You need to, whatever those things are, now is the time of the year to do it. And you're going, oh, I don't know, whatever. You're going to spend it. You're either going to invest it in yourself and be able to write it off, or you're going to spend it as a tax, like taxable, like you're going to spend it back and give it to the government, right? Think about that. That's got to happen before the end of the year, okay? So that's another thing you should be thinking about. Number four, we need to get serious about our content library. Let's just call it a library. Get serious about your content library. The number one form of content that is working right now is local market stuff. Okay. So I still want you to be shooting things on 3 ways to get more for your home and 2 ways to, all of that stuff's important. It's part of your library, right? But the number one thing that's working right now that not enough of you are doing consistently is local market videos, right? And local market videos can be as simple as highlighting a neighborhood, right? And saying what's going on there, highlighting a listing and what's going on there, highlighting something going on in the local community, fireworks or, some kind of carnival going on, or some kind of just, whatever those things happen to be. But what's really working right now is when you involve other people, you involve other businesses, do a contest, right? And you do some kind of a video and you say, hey, want to tell you about the new thing on the menu over at Jose's, whatever, right? And you say, they watch the video, we're going to tell you about it. And by the way, we're giving away a $50 or $100 gift card to the winner. We're going to randomly select it. And to enter the drawing, you need to like this post, comment below, and share it with your people, right? Like, comment, and share. Now that $50 or that $100, which everyone wants locally, you highlight that business, you highlight yourself as an agent, and watch what happens. The gift card comes from the business. You're not doing it, you're not paying for it. Think about how many different businesses you could do this with. And every time you do it, you're going to get hundreds of shares and thousands of views and all of this. And it's visibility, visibility, visibility. And it's not just visibility, it's immediate leads, right? You talk to how many of our students who do this on a regular basis, and before you know it, you've got businesses in the area begging you to come do a video. We'll give you a large gift card. We'll give out whatever, come do it, because they see the views that it gets. And people love getting free gift cards and these things, and they love seeing the local community highlighted. And every time that's done, who's also front and center? You are, okay? And so you need to get serious about and schedule your content library. Why do I call it a library? Because it stays around. The world we live in today is so much different than a world we ever lived in, because someday my grandkids are going to see my videos from now. That's kind of scary, but it's true. And the beauty of our industry, when you really think about it, is when you're making videos on the area, when you're making videos on the 3 tips to get more money when you're selling here, when you make a video on what's the difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification, when you make a video on, at what point should an inspector be contacted, or at what point should a mortgage lender be contacted, or you make these educational videos, what's amazing about them is that library lives on for years and years, because your clientele keeps changing. Okay, here's what I mean. You make a video about the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval. And so the people in your marketplace that are buying at that moment, they're interested in that because they're like, I don't know the difference. Let me check that out. 3 months later, they're no longer the end consumer because they've already bought something, but there's a whole other group of people who now are ready to buy again, want to know the answer to that question. And that same video that you recorded once now plays for them like it's brand new. And that happens month after month after month after month. And you just keep promoting that thing, visibility, visibility, new clients, all from doing that one video. And guys, again, don't just listen to what I'm saying, watch what I do. I literally just got a comment before I started here on a team building training that I did 4 years ago. And I've still got people commenting like, this is amazing. Oh my God, I'm getting into coaching. This is so cool. You know, whatever. I did nothing but recorded it 4 years ago, and it just keeps living on. It's the gift that doesn't stop giving. And some of us are spending so much time trying to recreate on a regular basis, trying to regenerate some business, trying to whatever, when if you would just get serious about your content library, you would have a consistent flow of business happening because you'd be constantly visible on a regular basis, okay? And so that's the way that we really need to think about this, because I believe this more than ever right now. What it takes for you to separate from everybody else in your marketplace is not much, not much. Everyone thinks about what they're gonna do. Everyone, you know, procrastinates, they, you know, whatever. But at the end of the day, the ones that actually get some kind of a result are the ones who don't overthink it. They're the ones who just go in there and they mess up. And then they try again and they mess up, and they try again and they get better, and they try again, they try again, they try again. And it takes so little to actually separate yourself from your competition. Because when you think about it, our success, what we end up with in the future, usually comes from moments, right? It's the moment that you say no to the lava cake, right? It's the moment that you pick up the phone and actually make that call and start prospecting and circle prospecting, right? Everybody says, well, calling's hard. Calling is not hard, guys. The first call is hard. That's the truth, right? Like, oh my God, prospecting's difficult. No, it's not. It's not prospecting, ing, ongoing. The first call is difficult. Once you get over that little moment, when you get over that moment, you automatically separate yourself from so many other people. And I want that for all of you. And last but not least, guys, okay, number one, let's get clear on our benchmarks, our numbers. Number two, database, post-close. Number three, focus on our finances. Number four, get serious about your content library because it lives on and on and on and on. And number five is we have to start listening to our consumer, okay? We should be building our companies, building our brands around what the consumer wants. That's what Zillow did, you know? I know a lot of you don't like them, but the reason why they won that race is because, and the reason why they had the most traffic more than anyone, is because they did what the consumer wanted while all these other companies were doing what we wanted, okay? So listen to your consumer. You know, I use this example at the Advance, but it's just true. When I say this, everybody's like, yeah, listen to your consumer. That's what we should do. And then I asked the attendees, I said, how many of you offer instant offers to your marketplace? Silence. Silent. It's as silent as this room right now. I said, whoa, I thought we were listening to consumers. Recent studies showed that 93% of sellers want an instant offer. They at least want to see one. Even though less than 1% actually accepts it, less than 1 actually accepts that instant offer. But if 93% want them, what are we doing? You're like, well, I don't have enough money to do that. I don't have, you know, the whatever. Hey guys, go to your local RIA, REIA, Real Estate Investor Association, or whatever it's called in your area. Go to those monthly meetings. Those people who have hard money lines of credit and they're paying cash, right? Go to them. Set up an agreement with 5 of them. Say, hey, when I bring you a property, you'll make an offer within 24 hours. Yes, 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 yes. Perfect. You got 5 investors now making offers instantly within 24 hours. Now you start promoting your instant offer program in your area. And what are you going to do now? You're going to put it out in your area. You're going to get in first before other people. Put those instant offers out there. A lot of people are going to respond and say, I want to see the instant offer because 93% want it. It differentiates you. And less than 1% are going to accept it. And when the less than 1% accept it, what do you now have? A traditional listing. And for the less than 1% to take it, cool. Good luck. Hope it goes well, right? You tell the investor if they're buying it and they're going to turn it over, you're the one that's got to sell it. Like make deals like that. But let's listen to the consumer, okay? We need to remember right now, when I'm talking about listening to the consumer, you know, I said earlier, competition either eliminates you or makes you better, right? Look, I talked about for years, right? Netflix eliminates Blockbuster. Blockbuster didn't listen to the consumer, but that same Netflix goes and takes Disney and causes them to create Disney Plus. 126 plus million subscribers, over 250 million within 2 years. Listen to the consumer. They're still going to use an agent. It goes up every year. How many are using an agent? Because it's so complex. And with all of the tools, it gets confusing. But how they're going to do it, that's what we need to pay attention to. What are the strategies? Those are constantly changing. The quickest way for you to underperform on your potential is to get romantic about how you used to do it. Okay. I'm going to say that again. The quickest way for you to underperform on your potential is to get romantic about what got you here, about what you used to do. Okay. Can't do that. We got to grow. We got to change. I know we all hate change, but that's the way that we have to go. And right now, I want you to remember that this business is cyclical. You are right now working on the first quarter of 2022. What you're doing right now is what's going to show up in the first quarter. And if everybody else is going to slow down and eat a bunch of Thanksgiving and it's Christmas now, I'm just floating around, I'll get back at it January 1st. What did I say before? It takes so little to actually separate yourself from everyone else. It's moments. It's moments. You have a moment right now. You can make a decision to not be that way. You can make a decision to get a coach and get held accountable. You can make a decision to be at the mastermind and drastically change your life for the rest of your life. You can make a decision to get scheduled and get actually have a schedule in place and follow that schedule on a regular basis. You can make a decision that how I've lived so far, my lifestyle, my unhealthy ways, I've decided that it's all a moment. It's always a moment, right? People don't change over a long period of time. They change in moments. And so right now, I want you guys to actually think to yourself about like, what's acceptable? You know, what is it that I actually want? What is acceptable? What environment do I need to build that supports that, right? Some of us don't go to the places we should go. Some of us underperform on potential because we're just in the wrong environment. It's not going to happen, right? So you got to start to look at, you know, what do I listen to? Who's in my inner circle? You know, do they pull me down or do they pull me up? Are they below me? Are they above me? Are they, you know, are they losers? Or are they winners? Are they, you know, are they going to laugh when I tell them what I'm doing different now coming into the new year? Or are they going to support it? Do they want the best? We've really got to start to look at what we want, really get serious about that. And then we got to look at our environment. We've got to say what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. Because if you don't change environment, I think you guys know this already. If you don't change environment, nothing's ever going to change. Okay. If you don't change the tools you're using, if you don't change your accountability structure, you can want it every day of the week. But what did I say earlier? At the end of the day, it's about having a plan and being held accountable to follow through with that. What you plan for is what you get, not what you want. Okay. I'm going to go to questions with you guys really quickly. I'm going to show you this. If one of my teammates can put it in the chat or the comments or whatever, jaredjamestoday.com/offers, OFFERS. Anything we can do to help you guys. jaredjamestoday.com/offers, OFFERS. jaredjamestoday.com/offers. Go check that page out, guys. We have a lot of different ways to help you. You need a coach, it's there. You want to take advantage of those early tickets, the low price, you're going to meet me in Nashville in 2022. Get your tickets. You need a CRM, it's there. You need a marketer to help you, it's there. You want one of our transaction, every single one of you listening, if you're in real estate right now, you better have a transaction coordinator. There's no risk, right? You only pay when you close. They save you 8 to 12 hours per transaction. They gain you business by making you look awesome to your clients. They do way more than you'll ever do on your transaction. It's their personality profile. Do a consult. Make this the time that you finally get off the fence, get set up with a transaction coordinator. We launched Cleared and Closed recently, the company Cleared and Closed, and we've got them waiting for you. Get to the mastermind, guys. The mastermind's not for everyone, but those people that really want to scale their business, they want to run a business, this is a unique once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to sit in a suite with me and Rick Fuller and just transform your business hands-on, computers in our laps, jeans on, just going for it. Any of these things you need, go check out jaredjamestoday.com/offers. jaredjamestoday.com/offers, OFFERS. And with that being said, I am going to take some questions here. I'll give you guys one more chance for that, to get into that, to win the tickets to the 2022 Jared James Advance. I'll give you guys one more chance on that. For those of you that weren't here in the beginning, all you have to do, go to my Instagram. I'm at Jared James Today. Okay. The last photo that was on there, all you're going to do is just go to that photo, the one of me in the black shirt. You're going to like it and leave a comment on it. Okay. Like it and leave a comment on it. And we're going to pick someone randomly later today that's going to get those free tickets to the 2022 Jared James Advance in Nashville, Tennessee on October 24th and 25th. So take advantage of that. With that being said, guys, I'm going to get to some questions. I've got limited time for questions, just because it is, I got to get to the airport, basically just like any other day. Let me look here. Holy crap, we got a lot of comments here, guys. I see a lot of you saying, okay, where's the best place to invest your marketing dollars for 2022? The number one place early on here, and a lot of times you don't think of it as marketing, but it is. If you don't have a CRM yet, that's a marketing piece, right? That is something where you actually keep a database, and it can tell you who you need to follow up with. It can keep track of that client loyalty program and tell you every day who you need to contact, right? Outside of that, we're seeing a great result right now with places, although they were dead for a while, but they're kind of back now with places like Facebook and Instagram, specifically Facebook, getting a good return, as long as, again, you have systems and a CRM set up and those kind of things. And then outside of that, when I say database, look, when you do your client parties, your yearly things, or at Thanksgiving, or whatever it has to be, there's never as large a return as those kinds of things when you're seeing people face to face. You're bringing them pumpkin pies, you're handing them out, around this time of the year, those kind of things. You'll never see a return like you will on that kind of stuff. That stuff is just tried and true, and it works amazing. New agent business plan. Can you use the one we gave us? Yes, your numbers are just going to be different according to the fact that you are a newer agent. So yeah, you absolutely. Building a team. We have, look, I'll actually put it in the comment here. I can show you where we can give you the 7 stages of team development. If you go to jaredjamestoday.com/7 stages, you can see the various stages of team development. We also have team leader coaching. We have coaching specific to team leaders. Just fill out a coaching consult and they'll reach out to you and do that with you guys. Advice for brand new agents, Brad. It's the advice I always give when it comes to new agents, and that is boats over fishing. Everybody wants to fish, go catch leads. Everybody wants to, but you can only catch so many fish without the right infrastructure. Okay. You got to build the boat. So do yourself a favor before you get too busy to do it and you fall into the trap that 99% of the agents that are on this right now have done, and build your infrastructure first. Hire your TC right now. There's no risk. You'll build your workflow. You'll only pay them if you close something, but you'll have that set up. Get your CRM set up, infrastructure, okay? Get your TC, get your CRM. That would be, TC is transaction coordinator, by the way. If you go to that offers page, or if you just go to clearedandclosed.com, you can get a consult, no cost. You can see the kind of things they do, okay? Guys have to run. What I'm going to do is I'm going to answer a lot of your questions when I'm on my flight. I'll keep my computer open and I'll get back to a lot of you. But I've got a tight turnaround now and I've got to get to that. I want to say I appreciate you all. If you guys would do me a favor, not only you liked and commented, but share this. Hit that share button. Allow someone else to get some value heading into New Year as well. I think we already gave you the link, the jaredjamestoday.com/download, where you could download the business plan. You can download the digital plan. You can download the social audit. Like, all those things are there for you for free. We're going to send out an email afterwards and we'll let everybody know what that link is so you have it. Hopefully technology works like we want it to. Someone said, my TC is awesome. What's up, Jason? That's great. You won't regret it. Yeah, no doubt about it. So share this with someone else, guys. Hit that share button. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit that share button. I'll respond to a lot of your stuff, guys, on Instagram and all that stuff. I see a ton of messages coming in. Make sure you are connected on those places, but I'll respond once I'm on the flight. Thank you guys so much. I hope we get to work with a lot of you. I hope we get to be a part of your success heading into the new year. I hope a lot of you are going to get off the fence and realize that you have to have the right tools in place. You've got to have the right people in place to ultimately get what you want in the coming year. And I hope that we get to be some kind of a small part of that. And even if we don't, I still wish you success, but I hope we do. Okay, guys? Guys, have a great one. I got to take off. I will talk to you soon. Have a good one.